Hey there, coin collectors and history buffs! Welcome back to the channel. Today, we've got a jaw-dropping story for you. We're diving into the 2004 1-cent coin, yes, the humble penny, that could be worth an astonishing $22 million. You won't believe how this small coin became one of the most valuable pieces of US currency. Stay tuned! Now, at first glance, the 2004 penny may seem like just another coin in your pocket. It's a 1-cent piece, after all, minted by the US government. But what makes the 2004 penny so special? Let's break it down. The design on the obverse, or front, shows President Abraham Lincoln, just like the pennies we've seen for over a century. The reverse features the Lincoln Memorial, a hallmark of the penny design until 2009. While the 2004 penny might look like just another coin, it's what some of these pennies are hiding that make them truly rare and valuable. Keep watching, because we're about to reveal how this coin went from a simple piece of currency to a potential jackpot for collectors. Okay, here's where things get crazy. While most 2004 pennies are worth their face value, just 1 cent, there are rare exceptions. Imagine finding a 2004 penny that was minted incorrectly. That's right, some pennies from 2004 were struck with errors so unique, they could be worth millions. And it all comes down to a specific error that's captured the attention of coin collectors worldwide. The error we're talking about is called the double die obverse. It's a mistake that occurs during the minting process. This happens when the die, which stamps the image onto the coin, makes multiple impressions in slightly different positions. As a result, you'll see a doubled image, usually on the lettering or design, making the coin stand out from all the others. The most notable feature of the 2004 double die obverse error is the doubling on the word Liberty, and In God We Trust. If you have a keen eye, you can spot the telltale signs of the doubled lettering. But don't worry if you can't see it immediately. There are experts who can identify these rare pieces. And when they do, the value skyrockets. Now you might be wondering, how much is this error worth? Well, one of these double-dyed pennies was recently appraised for an eye-popping $22 million. That's right, a coin worth just 1 cent could potentially sell for tens of millions of dollars, depending on its rarity and condition. In fact, it's believed that only a few of these rare pennies exist in the world, and they've been sold at auction for huge sums. So, the next time you're flipping through your spare change, make sure you don't overlook your pennies. You could be sitting on a gold mine. But let's take a moment to reflect on the history behind the 1-cent coin itself. The penny, first introduced in 1793, has undergone many design changes over the years. Initially, it featured a representation of Lady Liberty. Over time, however, it evolved into the iconic Lincoln design, which first appeared in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. Fast forward to the early 21st century, and the penny continued to carry the image of Lincoln, though subtle changes have been made throughout the years. In 2004, to mark the 200th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, the U.S. Mint released a series of pennies featuring new designs on the reverse side, showcasing the Lincoln Memorial, which had been the coin's reverse design since 1959. So, what makes error coins like the 2004 double die obverse so valuable? Well, for collectors, rarity is everything. Coins with minting errors are incredibly rare, and they can't be reproduced easily. When a coin is struck multiple times or has misaligned dies, it becomes a unique piece of history. Collectors also love the challenge of hunting down these elusive error coins, which only adds to their appeal. As a result, when an error coin comes up for sale, especially one as rare as the 2004 double die penny, it can generate bidding wars, driving the price to astronomical heights. Now, if you think you've got a 2004 penny worth millions, let's talk about how to spot the error. First, you'll want to examine the lettering closely, especially the words Liberty and In God We Trust. If you notice a noticeable doubling effect, where the letters appear thicker or out of alignment, you might be holding a rare treasure. Check the date as well. A legitimate double die penny will be from the 2004 year, specifically the Philadelphia Mint. If you're not sure, it's always a good idea to take your coin to a certified numismatist or coin expert who can confirm its authenticity. So, there you have it. A 2004 1-cent coin, with a little error, could be worth more than you ever imagined, up to $22 million. If you've got one of these rare double-die pennies in your collection, congratulations, you might be holding on to a fortune. As always, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more incredible stories from the world of coins. Who knows? Your next video could be about your own rare find. Next. You probably think of a penny as just a penny, that small, copper-colored coin that we toss aside in our daily lives. But what if I told you that a seemingly ordinary penny could be worth a mind-boggling $57 million? Yes, you heard that right, $57 million. Stick with us as we dive deep into the incredible history and hidden value of the 1997 US 1-cent coin. So, what's the deal with this 1997 penny? Could it really be worth millions? Well, today we'll uncover the story behind this rare coin and why it could change your perspective on that humble 1-cent piece. First, let's take a step back and understand the basic history of the 1-cent coin. The penny, a coin that's been a part of American currency for more than 2 centuries, has undergone several design changes. The 1997 penny, known as the Lincoln cent, features the image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, a design that has remained largely unchanged since 1909. Most pennies, like the 1997 version, are made primarily of copper-plated zinc. And while the face value of these coins is 1 cent, they're not typically considered valuable. So, what makes this specific 1997 penny potentially worth millions? That's what we're about to uncover. To understand the high value of the 1997 penny, we have to look at a unique event that occurred around that time. In 1997, the U.S. Mint produced a batch of pennies as part of its regular coin production. However, some of these pennies were accidentally struck on wrong planchets, pieces of metal that weren't intended for pennies. Normally, a penny is struck on a copper-plated zinc planchet, but a very small number of 1997 pennies were mistakenly struck on a planchet intended for a higher value coin. These wrong planchet pennies are extremely rare, and that's where the value comes in. Some of these rare pennies, made of a different metal alloy, can fetch insane amounts at auction. Out of the billions of pennies minted in 1997, only a few were struck on these wrong planchet coins. While most 1997 pennies are made from copper-plated zinc, a few were mistakenly struck on the planchet used for the US dime, which is a mix of copper and nickel. This slight change in the composition makes these pennies a rarity that can attract serious collectors. And this is where it gets interesting. Because these wrong planchet pennies are incredibly rare, they can command astronomical prices at auctions. In fact, one of these 1997 pennies, sold at a major auction, was valued at an astounding $57 million. So, how did this rare penny come to be valued at $57 million? Let's break it down. It all started when a lucky coin collector discovered one of these rare 1997 pennies with the wrong composition. After examining the coin and confirming its authenticity, the collector realized that it was one of only a handful in existence. Coin collectors and numismatists, those who specialize in the study and collection of coins, are always on the lookout for these rare, misstruck coins. And when this particular penny made its way to the auction block, its rarity, history, and unique composition sparked a bidding frenzy. As the bidding war began, it didn't take long for the price of the 1997 penny to skyrocket. With so few of these rare coins in existence, collectors from all over the world were eager to get their hands on this piece of history. And after several intense rounds of bidding, the penny was sold for a jaw-dropping $57 million. To put that into perspective, $57 million is more than enough to buy a mansion, a luxury yacht, or even a private island. But for the lucky buyer, this rare penny is now one of the crown jewels of their collection. This record-breaking sale had a major impact on the coin market, and it sent shockwaves throughout the numismatic community. Suddenly, everyone was scouring their coin jars and looking closely at their 1997 pennies, hoping to find one of these wrong planchet treasures. And while it's incredibly rare to find a 1997 penny with this particular mistake, this sale has brought a renewed interest in the world of coin collecting. If you've ever been curious about diving into the hobby, This is a perfect example of how one small coin can change your financial future. Now you might be thinking, should I start going through my change, looking for a $57 million penny? Well, while the odds are very slim that you'll find a 1997 penny with the wrong planchet, it's never a bad idea to check your coins carefully. After all, coin collectors have found hidden treasures in the most unlikely places. And remember, it's not just about the 1997 penny. There are countless rare and valuable coins out there, some worth hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars. So if you're into collecting, it's always worth keeping an eye out for misstruck coins and other anomalies. So, there you have it. The 1997 penny, once a simple 1-cent coin, is now part of coin history, thanks to a small mistake that led to a massive fortune. Whether you're a collector or just someone looking for a fun story, the tale of this penny shows that sometimes the smallest things can be the most valuable. From a simple mistake to a $57 million treasure, the 1997 1-cent coin is proof that even the most overlooked items can hold incredible value. Thanks for joining us today. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more fascinating stories like this. And as always, keep your eyes peeled. You never know what hidden treasures might be sitting right in your pocket. Next. Think you have a penny or two lying around in your pocket? Well, you might want to check again because one special penny could be worth a staggering $19 million. Yes, you heard that right. Today, we're diving deep into the mystery of the 1-cent USA 2000 coin that's worth millions. Let's uncover its history, value, and why this seemingly ordinary coin is anything but that. Stay tuned, because you won't believe how a simple penny could hold so much power in the world of numismatics. To understand the significance of the 2000 1-cent coin, we first need to take a quick look at the history of the US 1-cent piece itself. The US 1-cent coin, commonly known as the penny, was first introduced in 1793. Over the years, the design has undergone several changes, with notable designs like the Indian head cent, the wheat penny, and the Lincoln Memorial cent, which you're probably familiar with. But it wasn't until 2000 when something extraordinary happened. Before we get to that, let's also touch on the significance of the penny in American culture. Though it's often dismissed as just a penny, it's deeply embedded in the economy, everyday life, and even the history of the United States. Now let's fast forward to the year 2000. The US Mint issued a special series of pennies as part of a change to the reverse design of the coin. These coins, which featured a new design showcasing the Union Shield, were intended to commemorate the turn of the millennium. The 2000 cent was part of this unique coinage release, but some of these pennies turned out to be much rarer than others. The 2001 cent coin is most well known among collectors for its distinct closed AM variety. Here's where the story gets interesting. The standard 2000 penny features the letters A and M in America on the reverse of the coin spaced further apart, in a design known as the wide AM. However, a small batch of pennies was struck with the closed AM design, where the A and M are much closer together. This tiny difference, which may seem almost imperceptible to the naked eye, is what makes the 2000 closed AM penny so incredibly valuable. Now, why is this penny worth millions? Well, first off, it's all about rarity. The US Mint was not supposed to produce any 2000 pennies with the closed AM design. These were considered an error, making them extremely rare. In fact, only a handful of these coins are believed to exist, making them highly sought after by collectors and investors alike. In 2018, one of these 2000 closed AM pennies was sold at auction for over $19 million. Yes, you're seeing that correctly. A simple 1-cent coin, minted nearly 25 years ago, fetched an unimaginable price. So, why such a hefty price tag for a penny that anyone can find in their change? Well, this particular variety of penny is considered one of the rarest coins in US history. Its rarity, along with the history of mint errors and the growing demand for rare, unique pieces, led to the astronomical value. So, how can you identify if you've got one of these rare, multi-million-dollar pennies sitting in your pocket right now? It's all about looking at the reverse side of the coin. Examine the spacing between the A and M in America. If the letters are closer together, it's the closed AM variety. If they're further apart, it's the more common wide AM design. Additionally, you might want to look at the edge of the coin to check for any abnormalities or signs that it might be an error. But remember, these close AM pennies are incredibly rare, and finding one is akin to discovering a needle in a haystack. Mint errors like the closed AM penny are new to the world of coin collecting. Errors in coin production are a natural part of the minting process. However, when these errors result in rare designs, they can skyrocket in value. Other famous examples include the 1913 Liberty Head nickel and the 1943 copper penny. Collectors and investors are always on the lookout for such mint errors, and the 2000 closed AM penny has earned a legendary status. As more and more collectors seek to own a piece of U.S. history, the value of these unique coins only continues to rise. So, what's the takeaway from all of this? If you have a 2000 penny, it might not be worth much, unless, of course, it's the elusive closed AM variety. In that case, you could be holding onto a coin worth millions. If you happen to find one, make sure to have it professionally appraised, because you just might have one of the most valuable coins in history. Who knew a simple penny could be worth so much? If you found this video valuable, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more amazing coin stories. Who knows what treasure might be hiding in your pocket next? Today, we're going to talk about something that you might have lying around in your coin jar or wallet right now, a 2010 1-cent USA coin. It may seem like just another penny to most people, but did you know that this humble coin could be worth a jaw-dropping $5 million? Yes, you heard that right. The 2010 penny is not just a simple piece of change, it's a rare collector's item that has captivated coin enthusiasts worldwide. In today's video, we'll uncover the value, history, and why this tiny coin could make you a millionaire, so grab your magnifying glass and stick with us, because you won't believe what we're about to share. Let's start by talking about the 2010 1-cent coin. In the world of numismatics, the study and collection of coins, pennies are often seen as one of the least valuable coins in circulation. After all, their face value is only 1 cent. But the 2010 penny is different. At first glance, the 2010 penny looks just like any other penny in your pocket. But here's where things get interesting. The United States Mint issued a total of over 7 billion 1-cent coins in 2010, with most of them being produced at the Philadelphia and Denver mints. These pennies were designed by the famous engraver, Victor David Brenner, who's behind the iconic Lincoln portrait we've all seen. But what makes the 2010 version so unique? The key to this coin's big value lies in a rare minting error that occurred during its production. While most 2010 pennies were struck correctly, some were produced with significant flaws. In the world of coin collecting, these minting errors are considered gold mines. And that's exactly what happened with the 2010 penny. One of the most valuable errors that can happen during minting is called a double die error. This occurs when the coin is struck multiple times by the die, causing a blurry or doubled image. In the case of the 2010 penny, a small number of these coins were struck with a double die obverse error. This means that the image of Abraham Lincoln, the inscription, E pluribus unum, and the date itself were all doubled on the coin's face. Now, you might be wondering, why is this important? Well, in the world of coin collecting, minting errors are extremely valuable. A coin that was incorrectly struck is far rarer than one that was minted perfectly, and rare items always attract the attention of collectors. A penny with a double die error is worth far more than its 1-cent face value. In fact, some of these 2010 pennies have been sold at auction for thousands of dollars, and in some rare cases, they've been known to fetch prices as high as $5 million. Imagine finding one of these coins in your pocket change and realizing it's worth millions. But how can you tell if you've got a 2010 penny that's worth big money? Let's dive into the specifics of how you can spot a 2010 penny with a double die error. First, look closely at the date on the coin. If you notice that the 2010 appears blurry or there's a noticeable doubling of the numbers, then you might have a rare find on your hands. But that's not all. Check out the lettering around Abraham Lincoln's portrait. Is it doubled? That's another sign that you could be holding a valuable coin. If you suspect you've found a double die error, you'll want to examine it under magnification. Sometimes the errors are subtle, and a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe will give you the best chance to spot the doubling. But the 2010 penny isn't just valuable because of the double die error. There are also other factors that can affect the value of a penny. For example, pennies with unusual wear, such as those that have been through extreme conditions or have odd patinas, can also be worth more. In fact, the minting process used a copper-plated zinc composition for the 2010 penny, which over time can wear in interesting ways. Some collectors are on the lookout for those worn-down, rare specimens, as they add to the intrigue and history of the coin. The bottom line is that while most 2010 pennies are worth, well, 1 cent, some rare varieties can command sky-high prices, and that's why the 2010 penny has captured the attention of collectors and investors alike. Now that we've covered the 2010 penny's value and rarity, let's take a step back and look at the history of the US penny to understand why a simple piece of change could be so valuable. The 1-cent coin has a rich history, dating back to the first US mint in 1793. Over the years, the design and composition of the penny have evolved, but its value has always been tied to the economic times. While the penny started as a symbol of early American prosperity, its current face value is much smaller. However, the history behind it has made it a collectible item, particularly in rare cases like the 2010 penny. Over the centuries, the penny has been a symbol of change, and the US Mint has created some iconic versions of the coin. From the Indian head cent to the famous Lincoln cent introduced in 1909, the penny continues to be a coin steeped in tradition. And while most modern pennies are still in circulation, it's the errors, minting mistakes, and rare varieties like the 2010 penny that keep collectors on their toes. So, next time you reach for that handful of change, make sure to pay close attention to your pennies, especially the 2010 ones. What might seem like just pocket change could be your ticket to a small fortune. If you think you've found a valuable 2010 penny, or if you're just curious about the world of coin collecting, don't forget to get it appraised. A certified numismatist or a trusted coin dealer can help you determine whether you've got $1 million find. Thanks for watching today's video. If you enjoyed this coin discovery, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a chance to uncover hidden treasures with us. Until next time, happy collecting!